across our country since 1921. We are gathered here to formally recognize those students who have been selected for successfully completing their candidacy and are being inducted as new members of our NHS chapter. For current members and those former members who may be among our guests, we hope this will serve to remind you of the standards of excellence you too are charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition program. Our school's chapter is proud to have been inducting new members since 1997, and today's ceremony indicates the continuing emphasis on excellence that we represent for our school and community. Throughout the year, members of our chapter serve as role models for other students. In addition to the strong academic records which establish our eligibility for membership, our chapter members are leaders in many student organizations, and we serve our schools and community through activities including the Senior Citizens Bank. We are proud of this record of accomplishment and welcome these new members who bring new energy in support of our continuing work as NHS members. It is at this time that we proclaim to all in attendance that membership in the Genesee Valley Central School chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by these candidates through effective demonstration of the four qualities that serve as standards for the society. Officers of the chapter will now review these qualities for the candidates and invite honored guests to speak on each of the four points. Jason, please.
Vera, will you please light the full scholarship candle? I will now introduce the scholarship pillar. Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and studying, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. Knowledge is one great element in life, which can lead one to the highest success. It can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates can have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. This pursuit goes far beyond the grades each receives in school. Our NHS students are curious and strive to see how the world outside of school connects to the work they do in the classroom. Mrs. Preston, please share your thoughts on scholarship.
My name is Mrs. Preston. I have the privilege as school counselor to speak on the pillar of scholarship. What is scholarship? It's a word we've heard and we've used, but what does it actually mean? Well, we use it when we talk about getting money for college. I help people find and apply for scholarships. Does this use of the word have something to do with the meaning of scholarship here today? I believe that organizations and foundations are looking to give scholarships to scholars. Who and what are scholars? Being a scholar certainly has something to do with grades. Is it just how good a grade the student's grades are? I think it's possible for someone to have good grades and not be a true scholar, and also possible for someone to struggle in classes and be a true scholar. I think scholarship is more than money for college or good grades. Here's my definition. I believe that scholars are people on a quest for knowledge, for the sake of knowledge, not just for grades or acknowledgement, but because anything is rewarded. Each of you who sits on the stage here is because you have come to exemplify some of the qualities of scholars. You are driven learners. You accept the fact that the purpose of school is to help you to pursue knowledge for knowledge's sake. You don't always know where that knowledge will take you, but you know that you'll need it to help you define your future. You will all enter different career paths, different courses of study, and different areas of scholarship. You have learned how to learn, and that pursuing knowledge is attainable and rewarded. Perhaps you will even inspire countless others to engage in scholarship just like you. Your induction into the NHS is a testament to your hard work, your dedication, and your commitment to scholarship. Students in the audience who are witnessing this important honor, know that this level of scholarship is reached by focus, determination, grit, energy, and good work ethic. You have a team of teachers, older students, parents, counselors, and administrators who are here to help you on your journey. As school counselor, it is my responsibility to track students' transcripts and determine who mathematically qualifies. The eligible average is 92% from all of your high school classes. In my experience, it is often the ninth grade year that holds students' averages below the NHS requirement of 92%. Students tend to take their 10, 11, and 12th grade studies more seriously, and ninth graders are often still maturing and adjusting from the transition from middle school to high school. It's tough when at such a young age the grades you earn matter greatly years later. Often students regret their lack of scholarship in ninth grade. I say this to encourage 7th and 8th graders to think carefully about their scholarship as they enter high school. I say this also to encourage 10th graders who know they've become more mature scholars to push themselves to make up for academic struggles in ninth grade. I also want to share with all of you this. Successful people are those who are lifelong scholars, people who love to learn new things, who want to know more, and who are constantly seeking a lifetime of scholarship. That's more important than NHS, money for college, or your grades in high school. That's what we at GD want to push you to become lifelong scholars.
Whitney, will you please light the red leadership candle? I will now introduce the leadership pillar. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice. Leadership is not just getting people to do something that they would otherwise be welcome to do. It is the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in the school, community, or nation, they are ineffective without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a meaningful charge to each of our new members. Leaders are also humble servants, demonstrating wisdom and self-confidence to effect change around them. Dr. Kennard, please share your thoughts on leadership.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations to the newest inductees into the Genesee Valley Central School chapter of the National Honor Society, and to your teachers, families, and friends who have supported you along the way. You have achieved a level of recognition that is worthy of celebration. I was asked by Mrs. Horn and Mrs. Douglas to speak to you today about leadership. As Nolan just shared in the introduction to the leadership pillar, there are many facets of leadership. He mentioned taking initiative, striving to train and lead others, yielding one's own personal interest for the interest of others, and demonstrating wisdom and self-confidence. But like many principles, even the scholarship that Mrs. Preston talked about, leadership is hard to define. How one person leads is likely very different from how another person leads in their leadership style. On Amazon alone, there's over 70,000 books on leadership. With that many books, what does one choose as their own leadership philosophy that will frame their work? There's servant leadership, transformational leadership, results-oriented leadership. There's the 3 C's of leadership: competence, character, and commitment. The list seems endless. But regardless of the leadership style that you choose as leaders in the school and in the community, I want to challenge you to consider the words shared by President Roosevelt in 1910. He delivered a famous speech that year in Paris that has come to be known as the Man in the Moon speech. In one short section of the speech, the president said, "It is not the critic that counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by blood and sweat and dust, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without shortcomings." I believe this truly epitomizes leadership. Leadership is hard. Leadership takes dedication. And as Roosevelt said, to strive valiantly, to err, to come up short, to put in the effort, it's hard on all of us who strive to be leaders. But as you continue to become leaders, I hope you will remember the first part of the quote. The line that reads, "It is not the critic who counts." It is not the person who points out what you as a leader could have done differently. It is not the person that points out how they would have done it. Instead, listen to the advice and guidance of those who are in the arena with you, the ones who are also striving to train and aid others, who put the interest of others above themselves, who are humble when they are wrong, and who demonstrate wisdom and self-confidence when it was warranted. Because as a leader, whether here at school, on a sports team, in the community, there will always be critics. Choose to listen to the advice and feedback from the ones who are also striving to become better leaders. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your induction ceremony, and I would ask Lyra to please come to the podium.
Jason, will you please lead the service? Service to be established that a team of leaders have many opportunities provides to all corners at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those employed without monetary compensation and censorship is the quality we see in our membership and entire school body. We are committed to volunteering much better than talents to the creation of a better tomorrow. Service means a care for others and a share of ourselves. And so
Our guest speaker today is a Genesee Valley graduate of the class of 2016, who received a Regents Diploma with Advanced Designation in Honors. Mr. Michael Harrington graduated from SUNY Rockport in 2020, majoring in criminal justice and sociology. He graduated from the Alfred State Police Academy in 2020 and enlisted in the Air Force Reserves in 2020. He is now a staff sergeant in the Air Force Reserves. Mr. Harrington currently serves his community as a patrolman for the Village of Baton Police Department, and we are honored to have him speak with us today and share his thoughts on service.
Hello. First, I would like to congratulate you all on this tremendous achievement. The hard work that you have all put in here does not and will not go unnoticed. I also want to thank the faculty and administration for welcoming me here today. I am here today to talk on the topic of service. Service can have a wide range of interpretations, and how each one of us go about service will look a little different. To me, service means putting the needs of others above your own and doing everything you can to improve the lives of those people. I will touch on what service has looked like in my life in a moment. However, first I will speak on the importance of service. If you look at our world, service is everywhere. Grocery stores, schools, medical facilities, the military, gas stations, and even Facebook or Instagram. All of these things are providing some sort of service to meet the needs of the people. No matter what occupation you choose once you are out of school, you'll be serving others in some manner. Because of this, it is paramount to lead a service-minded approach into your daily life. For me, having a service-minded approach helped me discover my purpose, seeing the positive impact I could have on someone's life, even by assisting with a small issue, or being present to serve others in their darkest moment in life, helped me find a sense of purpose. As a police officer, I am able to make an impact locally on those that live in my community, and at times it extends beyond that. Being in the Air Force allows me to make an impact locally and serve a much bigger purpose than myself. One of the Air Force core values is service before self, and I believe this has implications for those who do not serve in this manner. Service before self means putting the needs of the goal, mission, or others above your own, and serving in a way other than for the sole benefit of yourself. Now, I will touch on what service has looked like in my life. Keep in mind, as we travel further in the journey of life, the ways in which we can serve may look a little different. The further we go, the more opportunities may be available. At GBCS, I lifeguarded for swim classes, assisted in different ways with sports teams, and helped others with homework or understanding topics. When I moved on to SUNY Rockport, I began working on campus in multiple roles as a union manager, planning and organizing professional events, and working with professional staff to meet the needs of the event. At University Police, providing safe transportation for college students and ensuring the security of the campus buildings. And in the campus gym, cleaning, organizing, and assisting the students inside the gym. I also volunteered and coached the developmentally related powerlifting group. As a police officer, I am blessed to serve in many different capacities and wear many different hats every day. I work road patrol, which generally involves responding to calls for service, conducting traffic stops, enforcing all New York State laws. My main role as a police officer is responding to calls for service, which, in regard to service, may include assisting with getting a child on the bus in the morning, conducting property checks at homes for people that are not in town, or helping someone who has locked themselves out of their car. The examples here could be endless. When someone thinks of a police officer, they typically associate one with high-speed pursuits, arresting offenders, or writing tickets. And although we do those things, there are many other things we do. A quick story that highlights service occurred this past winter. It's simple, but during a snowstorm, an elderly lady had gone off the road, driving up over a curb, after having swerved to avoid a vehicle that did not stop before coming into the roadway. Unfortunately, when she went up over the curb, she popped one of her tires, and I spoke with the female, and she stated she could not afford a tow, and also was not capable of changing her tire. So instead of towing the vehicle, I offered to spend a little more time with her and change her tire for her. It was not required by policy, and there were many other things I could have been doing, but in that situation, it was the right thing for me to do, and it helped make her day a little better, despite the unfortunate situation. To close, I just have a few thoughts. If you take anything from what I have said today, let it be this. Understand that service is not about glory. Take actions, no matter how small or minor they may be, to somehow make someone's day a little better or easier. Don't take actions solely because you may personally benefit in some fashion. Do it with pure intentions. Service will not always be pretty or enjoyable, but the lasting impact it can have on a person can literally change their life. And lastly, serve with passion in whatever capacity you choose, putting the same level of hard work that you did to get here. Again, congratulations on this accomplishment, and for taking the time to listen to my thoughts. I wish you all the best of luck in the future. Thank you.
Will you please like the white character? person's character isn't measured at one instant in time, but along the continuum of one's life. The right decision is rarely the easy one one must make. Our ability to make difficult choices is the truest measure of ourselves. Character is something that we must practice with utmost fidelity. It is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates, for each of us, our individuality, our goodness. It is this force of character that guides one through life and once developed, grows steadily with life. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, graciousness, careness, kindness, self-reflection, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. Mrs. Donna, please share your thoughts on character.
Good morning. The definition of what you just read includes characteristics such as respect, trustworthiness, and citizenship. This morning, I'd like to speak to you about another character trait that I consider extremely important, kindness. You're probably familiar with the popular adage, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Showing kindness to others can be as simple as a smile, acknowledging others with hello. How are you? It might be the first smile or kind word that person has seen all day. Taking the time to write a note to a friend to let them know you are thinking about them can have a positive impact. Another way to show kindness is to make the charitable assumption. Believe that most people are doing the best they can. We can control how we react to others. This doesn't mean that you have to receive people who frustrate you or say hurtful things, but before reacting, take a moment to consider what that person may be carrying. You'll never regret responding with kindness and grace. You may not know the struggles others are facing, but your kindness may be what helps them. American poet Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Who you show kindness to today? Does someone specific come to mind? I want to challenge you to take a couple minutes to reach out to that person today. You may never know the impact your words and actions have on another person's life. Treating others with kindness is one of the most valuable gifts you can give and an important part of the pillar of character. Mrs. Douglas, please.
The purpose of the National Honor Society is shown in its emblem, burning torch. It signifies a wish to serve, a desire to achieve, and a pledge to uphold the ideals of society. We light candles to remind us of these ideals. Would the current members please stand with their candles? Whitney, please light the current members' candles. JC, please come to the podium.
Inductees, please collect your candles and rise. With the help of my fellow members, we would like to induct the following students who have met the qualifications for membership. Dr. Kennard, Mrs. Donlin, Mrs. Douglas, Mrs. Warren, members of the faculty, parents, and students. These are the new members of the Genesee Valley chapter of the National Honor Society for 2026. Nolan, please administer the National Honor Society pledge.
At this time, I will help review inductees. At this time, for review inductees, please raise your right hand and repeat the pledge. I pledge myself to uphold the ideals of the National Honor Society, to build a strong character in myself and others, to further the advancement of scholarship, to carry aloft the torch of leadership, and to serve my school, my community, and my country in the interest of humanity. Please remember, this audience has witnessed you pledging yourself to the highest purposes of the National Honor Society. You may all extinguish your candles. Current members, please be seated. New inductees, please remain standing. Whitney, please come to the podium.
Inductees, as your name is called, please step forward to receive your membership certificate and pin. Dr. Kennard and Mrs. Dalton, please award the inductees next. Addison Brock, daughter of Darren and Brooke Brock, will receive her certificate and pin when she returns from a conference in Albany. Let's congratulate her. Kylie Christensen, daughter of Mark and Amber Christensen, come up and receive your certificate and pin. Olivia Crossley, daughter of Matt and Katie Crossley, come up and receive your certificate and pin. Breaker Holmes, son of Brett Holmes and Melinda Holmes, come up and receive your certificate and pin. Addison Middle, daughter of J.R. Middle and Sonia Conti, come up and receive your certificate and pin. Landon Tilton, grandson of Mark and Ronnie Tilton, come up and receive your certificate and pin. Kayla Wedge, daughter of John and Emily Wedge, come up and receive your certificate and pin. Please join me in congratulating the newest members of the Genesee Valley